Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is another episode of Fish Talk. So today's species we're going to talk about is the gray snapper. In my region here in Southwest Florida, we just call them mangrove snapper. You'll hear a lot of people just call them mangs, stuff like that. But so anyway, let's get to talking about this fish. It's very, very plentiful down here. You tend to catch them a lot, like under the bridges or under docks, anywhere where there's any little bit of structure for them to hide a little bit. And you know, they come out and they're definitely well known for stealing bait, but they're real fun to catch, and it's a very good meal. So let's talk about this, and I'm going to try and teach you what I can. And once again, just to preface this video, this is a page from an older publication called the Sport Fish of Florida by Florida Sportsman. So when I go on to tell you some of these things, especially when it comes to like the world record and Florida record, keep in mind that this publication it hasn't been published for probably around at least 10 years. All right, so let's move on with this description about this fish. Other names are mangrove snapper, like I told you, black snapper, which I never heard it called that, mango, I heard people call it mango, and this last one, I'm just going to spell it for you. I don't know how that's pronounced. I never heard of this before. Caballlerote. There's a couple ways you could pronounce that. I'm not even going to attempt it. But so anyway, the range says all of Florida, the Bahamas, and the Caribbean. So the habitat, juveniles are seasonally present in nearly all shallow waters and coastal estuaries of Florida and are plentiful throughout the year in the southern half of Florida, the Caribbean, and the Bahamas. Upon reaching a size of 10 or 12 inches, nearly all the gray snappers switch their homes to deeper waters and are fished mostly over coral reefs, artificial reefs, wrecks, and Gulf ledges. Although big ones can also be caught in deep channels, passes along the coast, in the panhandle. The bigger fish, deep water, are called black snapper. So that's just a little bit of general information, where they roam, where you can find them. I will tell you, the last time I checked for in this region, I think it's all over Florida, the minimum length to keep I call it mangrove snapper. The true name they're calling here is the gray snapper, was 10 inches. So they're can be pretty plentiful down here around 10 inches. And once again, I don't like to dispatch an animal just to get a few bites out of it. So you kind of want to make if you're going to utilize the harvest as a meal, you want to make sure you're getting your money's worth, so to speak. So anyway, now let's talk about the description listed right here. It's gray or greenish above and light on the underside, usually with an overall reddish hue that can range from coppery to bright brick red. Obvious black lines run from the snout through the eye to just below the dorsal fin. This line darkens when the fish feeds or gets excited. So you can kind of see some of these lines right here. And where was I? Okay, let's go on and talk about the size here, which will be notated right here. Hopefully you have a pretty good zoomed in shot of this so you can kind of follow along. Few surpass 1 foot inshore, but grays can average 2 to 6 pounds in deep water and reach perhaps 20 pounds or more. World and Florida records, 17 pounds. Like I said earlier in the introduction, this is an older publication, so the world record or the Florida record may have changed by now. So let's get on and talk about the food value. It's excellent up to a pound or so. Large ones are stronger in taste, but still very good. So I do concur with that. The snapper, all types of snapper are really good eating. So I've never eaten a snapper that I don't like, and mangroves are near the top of my list, along with the yellow snapper. yellowtail snapper. All right, so let's talk about the game qualities now. The little fellows can be easily to catch on dead shrimp or cut bait, but as they grow, they become more difficult to fool. It's generally necessary to trim down the size of the hooks, leaders, and terminal tackle. When hooked, gray snappers make strong runs, then wage a bulldogging battle all the way to the boat side. So that's telling you a little bit about their characteristics. I will say, you're not really seeing. I don't have a picture to show you. Maybe I can find a picture for the thumbnail before I post this. I don't know. But they have 2 teeth on top, 2 very sharp teeth, a little bit longer teeth on top and 2 on the bottom. So they're notorious for stealing bait. So you pretty much have to give them a smaller target. So when they go to hit that shrimp, if you're using shrimp, that they're just going to they're not going to hit and run. So if you leave too much tail hanging off of your jig or your hook, then they're just going to be ripping it off your hook all day long. So let's now talk about tackle and baits. Okay, inshore, spinning and light bait casting rigs are best and should be baited with live shrimp, live minnows, fiddler crabs, cut shrimp, cut squid, or cut bait fish. Many inshore grays are also caught on lures along mangrove shorelines around snags. Surface plugs and popping flies often catch grays, as do jigs, small shrimp flies, or streamers. Offshore heavier spinning and bait casting tackle and light ocean tackle are called for. Best baits are live, small fish, such as pilchards and sardines, live shrimp, cut squid, cut crab, and cut fish. So that's telling you pretty much, the ways and how you can, utilize, your best methods and baits for catching this fish. So the fishing systems are still fishing, casting, and drifting. So this is a great fish. If you come to Florida, if you're not from Florida, let me try that again. If you're not from Florida and you happen to come visit, this is a great fish. You can sit underneath any dock, pretty much any saltwater dock, and you can catch these types of fish all day long. Kids are going to have a blast. It's basically like catching panfish in a way, and I highly encourage everybody to give this fish, give it a try. And once again, if you're lucky enough to have a fish that's 10 inches or more, then you're really going to enjoy a great meal. So I appreciate you tuning in for another episode of Fish Talk, and we're going to be talking to you again soon. Thank you very much for tuning in.